Good evening, positive people. Buenos noches. Bonjour. Bon dia. Buongiorno. Ni hao. Memenje. Dobre utro. Namaste. Sawadi. Ciao rim. Manga nangu manga. Como ye. So pawanang sung. Assalamu alaikum. Privet. Guten Tag. Kalimara. And as they say in some neighborhoods, what's good? And welcome to the Cultural Flip Side. My name is Kevin Booker Jr.
And I'm Daisy Torres. We are so thankful and happy that you have joined us today. Oh, Kevin, we are in the midst of our summer. Tell me a little bit, how did you spend your 4th of July?
Wow. Daisy, I tell you, it was a wonderful 4th of July. I got away, got to spend some time with family, and just got to enjoy just that time with family, which is extremely important. It's just like I love just being around my family and just having time with family and friends. Just sit back and relax, cook some food, and enjoy that time. Now, what did you do?
Well, 4th of July is a special time for me. It is my birthday. 4th of July is my birthday.
Uh-oh. How old are you now? 21?
Yeah, but you gotta be careful to ask a lady how old she is now. I had a really great birthday with family and friends. We always have a cookout. Typically I'm traveling, but this year I kept it low key. It was perfect. And I always enjoy that time with my, like I said, with my closest people. So I enjoyed it. Every year it just seems like I'm getting a little year older, right? And it also makes me reflect on the good things that we have so much to be thankful for,
right.
And blessed. And so I've really had a lot of reflection. So I'm really proud of that. Speaking of which, I really am hoping that our viewers get to know us a little more. So I thought we'd do a little activity just to kind of, just change it up a little bit, right? So I don't know if you ever heard of that. Like, it's not really a game. You can play it as a game. It's called This or That, right? And it just sort of gets an idea.
Wait. It's called what?
This or That.
So you can get with this, or you can get with that.
Okay, we're not going to music today. Okay, this is a game. So basically, it's just to give our viewers a little insight of what our preferences are, right? A little bit of a picture of our personalities. So I'll start off with, so comedy or thriller? What would you pick?
Oh, that's a good one. Comedy or thriller? Depends on the mood. Depends on my mood, how I'm feeling. Sometimes I want to laugh. Sometimes might want to have my covers or something like that over my head.
No, and you can't do that. You got to pick one.
I got to pick one.
What do you typically pick? What do you typically watch?
Comedy.
All right. See, exactly. I would be the same. I would be a comedy, and partly because I was really scared of scary movies from very little. So I don't know. It's not my thing. All right, we'll try another one.
Even though I do like vampires and
yes, and you know what movie used to scare me when I was little?
Which one?
That movie, Nightmare on Elm Street. Oh my God, I was so scared of that movie. Oh my God, okay, so anyway, we'll do another one, all right?
Yep.
All right, this one we've talked about a lot. We've gone back and forth.
Yeah.
So we talk about movies. Would you prefer Netflix or Amazon Prime?
Woo! I do some binge watching on Netflix. So I have to go with Netflix.
Yeah.
What about you?
I agree. Like there's some good shows in Amazon Prime, but there's something about Netflix. Right? Like I could just binge watch. Right now I'm watching Manifest. Great show, right? I'm like really into it. So if anybody knows that seen that on the trending list on Netflix, I recommend it. It's a good show. Are you watching anything on Netflix now?
I just watched Amend with Will Smith about the 14th Amendment. I tell you, at first I was just going to watch one episode. I don't watch it all 5.
Oh my God. I'm watching it because you and I talked about that. I'm watching that. I'm watching that.
I know.
It's crazy. I'm going to do one more, and then we're going to get into our guest, which I'm excited about. So this is a good topic I like. Would you prefer a cruise or a ski resort?
A cruise or ski resort? A cruise,
Why?
because I like traveling and I like meeting different people.
Mm. Now I would have picked, I pick cruise too, but for
Oh,
different reasons.
oh, okay.
I like cruise because I'm a summer girl. I do
Oh.
not like the winter. You will not find me in a ski resort. I don't like being cold. That is so not me. I am anywhere where there's a beach, hot weather, flip flops, right? Traveling, boat, ocean, all me, all day long. So
Oh.
I also often wonder why I live in New England. I don't know.
Yeah,
We do have beautiful seasons, so I will say that. But yeah, that's just a little fun game to kind of get into and get to know each other. Maybe we could do that in another episode as well.
absolutely. You know what, Daisy? I'm
Awesome.
really excited about today's show. I mean, we have 3 graduates today on this show who are entering the next chapter of their life. And
Wow.
these 3 individuals are pioneers in their schools and also in their communities.
Mm.
And it is an honor to have them on this show today. You know, the wisdom and the knowledge that they're going to share with all of us. You know, it's so interesting, like even as a teacher, right? And you know this as well. When we go in and teach, you know, we're giving out knowledge, but you end up being inspired and, you know, you learn a lot from your students.
So true. So true. And they are just such inspirations, right? And just to watch where students go on their journey and when they come back and tell you about their life, I love it. Anytime that we can have students on the show, because you know, you and I are teachers at heart. Well, once a teacher, always a teacher, right? And so I love, you know, my biggest memories was when I taught high school Spanish, and that's my love, right? Like my high school students, they're just amazing people. They really are.
Wow.
Can't wait. Yeah, let's do it. I want to meet them.
Ron, you know, I'm excited about having the 3 individuals on the show. I'm going to let them introduce themselves because they are just dynamic individuals who deserve the world to know who they are. And I want the world to hear from their voice who they are. Ron, can you bring them on, please? Awesome.
This is exciting.
Danny, Lona, and Jade.
Look at them. Welcome. Welcome to the Cultural Flip Side.
Flip Side, yes. They're on the show.
Look at these are beautiful people.
Yes.
Beautiful people.
They're looking good too.
They do. It's that summer, right? You guys are like, yeah, school is over and I'm in summer mode. I could see it on your faces.
That's summer swag.
Yep, I see it. Awesome.
So I'm going to start with Lona, and then I'll go to Jade, and then I'll go to Danny. Can you tell the viewers, the world, a little bit about yourself and where you graduated from and what your plans are for the summer? And you can unmute yourselves too. That one.
So, hello, my name is Walona. I graduated from Civic Leadership High School. I'm from Enfield. And over the summer, I'm just going to be working, you know, saving up.
Awesome. That's awesome. And where are you going? Where are you planning to go? No, you know what? We'll save that. We'll save the juicy stuff later. All right. Now, Jade.
Hi, my name is Jade Marshallette. I graduated from Civic Leadership High School with Walona. This summer, I've been doing a program for Real Artways called Eyes on Video. So that's what I've been doing. But I think after the program ends, I'm just gonna try to have fun with everybody, my friends, this summer, or probably work.
Awesome. That's awesome. And Danny.
Hello, I'm Danny. I graduated from New London High School, New London Multi-Magnet High School. Right now, I'm actually in the UConn summer program. So I'm taking 2 courses right now for my major. And once that finishes, at the end of this month, I'll be working where I work at Fiddleheads in New London. So yeah, I'll be there until I start school in the fall.
Awesome. That is awesome.
Awesome. Congratulations to each of you. I know how challenging this year was with the pandemic. And even last year as juniors, I'm sure that also had interruptions to a lot of your end of the year events. So, I just want to, name that. I know this was a tough time, but you persevered and you did it. So congratulations. And Danny, I'm excited because I too will be taking classes in the fall, so I will be a Husky as well. So awesome. That's great. So I am excited, as you can see, because I love to talk about to students. So I want to hear a little bit more, and I'm sure our viewers do too, about your plans for the fall. So what I'm going to ask is just tell me a little bit about your plans for whether you're going to college or if you're deciding maybe you're going to take a little time and do the workforce, whatever your plans are. Tell us a little bit more about that. That's what I would love for you to share with us. So I'm going to start with Jade, and then I'm going to go to Danny, and then I'll end with Luna.
Okay, so for my plans for the fall, I am going to take time off from everything. I don't really think that college is going to be good for me for right now. Maybe later in life I will.
Yeah.
But after the fall, I'm going to go and go forward to do AmeriCorps. I want to do service for the country a little bit, and that's pretty much my plan. If I don't get in, I'll probably just do some work and find something else out.
Daisy
So Jay,
graduated from America.
that's what I was just gonna say. Jay, you just spoke to my heart because I am an AmeriCorps graduate. And it was, so we should definitely talk outside after the show. Because that's an amazing program. Especially when you're, as I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do next right after high school. Because sometimes it's not for everyone right away. It happened, and it happened for me later, but it doesn't always happen on everybody's timetable, right? So that is a great, what I call a gap year to take and take on that challenge. You learn and you gain so much, and it is the reason I became a teacher through that program. So you just never know what it will open up for you. So good for you. All right, Danny, you're up.
All right. So for the fall, as I said previously, I'm going to be attending UConn. I'm going to go to school to be a secondary teacher. I want to become an educator, and eventually I want to get into school administration. So I plan on doing that. I'm really excited. I grew up in school, but I also live with educators at home too. So I've been surrounded by that. And I'm really excited to, embark into my new journey of becoming a teacher, and a teacher of color as well, where we need a lot more of those for sure.
Yes.
Right.
Amen.
Oh,
Good. I might have to hire you. Wonderful. All right, Walona.
So in the fall, I'm going to be attending UConn as
wow.
well.
Isn't that something? I mean, they don't even know each other.
I'm going to be studying psychology, and I'm just going to explore the field, see what it has to offer, because I'm not really sure what I want to do with that yet, but I'm really interested in that.
That's an amazing field to get into, especially I've been talking to young people who are thinking about psychology, social work, right? And really, it's an important field, especially right after this pandemic. The need has grown in this field tremendously, so I can see many doors opening for you. Good for you.
Wow. Geez, they're so amazing. The passion is just resonating right through the camera and the call right now. One of the questions that comes to my mind is right now, and I'm about to just be real with you all right now, because a lot of students graduate and they just don't feel prepared. And you all know that. So I would like you to share, how prepared do you feel for college or the workforce? And what are you most nervous about? Because I know many of you who are in this call right now, you're very reflective. You always you're thinking about your life, your next steps. how prepared do you really feel at this point? I'm gonna start with you, Danny, and then I'm gonna go to Walona, and then I'll go to you, Jade. Okay.
Yes. So, Mr. Booker, and everyone, I feel like I'm prepared. I think I'm ready. I started my summer courses. So I graduated the 23rd and I started my summer courses the 28th. So I
Wow.
jumped right in, and I think that will keep my mind going and keep me like motivated to continue on. I think, another part, and like you said about reflecting, I'm going to reflect back on everything I've done in high school, like all the committees that I've been a part of and groups that I've led. I think, that's a push for me to be able to, go from being that student to, eventually being that educator. And so I think that prepares me. That motivation is what prepares me to continue on to pursue a higher education.
That was awesome. Thank you, Danny. Thank you. Walona, what comes to your mind?
Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm completely ready yet, but
Yeah.
just have to take things as they come,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll just go into it with a positive mindset and try my best.
That's right.
And if I make mistakes, learn from that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's so real. Thank you, Walona.
Great advice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And now you have someone who can also motivate you and encourage you while you're on campus now. Because Danny's right here. And I know that's what Danny does really well. So Jade, what's on your mind about preparation and feeling prepared?
So I'm going to the workforce. I'm kind of nervous.
Mm-hmm.
But cause at my school, they got me. We did the college class already,
Mm-hmm.
getting started. So if I ever did want to go to college, I wouldn't be that scared. But for the workforce, it's just a lot of things that I'm not used to. Like, because in like high school, you get like a helping hand, and now like you don't have someone to help you all the time, which is kind of frustrating.
Right.
But people who are just going in, it's not always going to be like fun, but it's gonna be like, but you're just gonna get used to it, and you're gonna find the people who you're working with to have friends and all that. So
Right. That was well said. Thank you, Jade. Thank you.
Yes, thank you all for that. That's really important words that you shared, right? And I mentioned earlier that, this has been an unusual times we've been in for the last year and a half with the pandemic, right? And so as Mr. Booker had mentioned, you guys are very reflective, I'm told.
Mm-hmm.
So in reflecting back on your high school, right, career, think about that for a minute. Like, what advice might you have for younger students, right, who are soon to be entering the workforce or college? Is there anything you wish you knew or somebody might have told you? And so I'm going to start this time with Walona, and then I'll go to Jade, and then I'll finish with Danny. So Walona, let's see what you think.
So if I had any advice for any seniors, I would say that you should really rely on the people around you, teachers, counselors, family members, other students, whoever, because they can help you, in ways that you might not even think of. You might be able to handle things on your own. You might be able to apply for college on your own or look for a job on your own. But it's honestly easier if you have other people around you that are willing to help you. And you might not always have that. So you should just take advantage of that while you have that.
Thank you. Great advice. Okay. Jade.
So for me, some advice I would want, like if before I started, was to get just like other people's help. I like definitely people should have told me to keep in contact with a lot of my teachers, that because they have friends and some of their friends need some help, or they can get you jobs like working at the school, or just working for a friend. That's what like I really wanted at first, but I did keep in contact with some teachers. So
Great advice. Thank you for sharing. Danny.
All right. So I'm actually really glad that, you guys asked this question, because this past school year, I had the privilege of being one of the senior class officers, and I was tasked with writing a letter to the freshmen. And I actually shared my advice of what I wish I got. And that advice is, and for the young kids that are watching this now, is your teachers, your staff, your administration of the school helps run the school, but the school is yours. Your 4 years, you make it what you want it to be. Identify those staff members, identify those admin that you can go and talk to, identify, after school clubs, those organizations that you can be a part of to be able to get extra help, to be able to find, resources, and to just like stay afloat, like just focus on yourself and focus on your growth. I wish I got that going into my freshman year. High school is scary, like as a freshman walking in, like if you're going to get lost or what, but you're going to find your way around, and you're going to identify those support barriers or things like that that you can go and rely on in times of need. So make it what you want it to be. It's the advice that I wish I got.
I love that, right? I love that. The power of mentors, the power of relationships, right? I think that's so important, right? That you're not alone, right? And you will get
For
on the
sure.
other side of this.
Yeah.
So that's great advice. Thank you.
I want to say this with a lot of pride. Class of 2021. Wow. Class of 2021. I love how that sounds. And when I think of that, I think of a very historic class. There's never been a class in recorded history that's gone through as much as you have in recorded history, right? So, I've heard students say to me, Mr. Booker, I'm tired of going to school. I'm tired of being online. I'm tired of not being able to see my friends. I don't know if I can do this anymore. Why am I doing this? What is this for? I mean, all these questions this year, right? And I know many of you in this call right now have had those moments of doubt or frustration, aggravation, and you're annoyed. But you made it. You graduated. You walked off that stage. You are now out of high school. You're entering the next chapter of your life. And you're moving forward. So if you can share and be transparent and honest with the people who are watching this today, right? Watching this call, when did you have that moment of doubt, right? And how did you overcome that obstacle in your life, that wall that was in your head? How did you overcome it? And can you leave people with a few words of encouragement or inspiration? Because people need it. It's just there was something that inspired you to continue moving forward. And this time, I'm not going to call anyone. Whoever's ready to go, you can just raise your hand and share it, or you unmute yourself, because it takes a moment to think about that. So whenever, whoever's ready, just unmute yourself and take the lead. There we go, Jay.
I had that moment a lot last year of just downing myself if I could actually finish the year online. Because to me, I need a hands-on type of learning. I'm not good with that type of stuff, being online. And but I kept on telling myself I could do it. I just have one more year left. I can't, like, I have so many people that I want to stay with in my next year, and I just don't want to be left behind. And I kept on telling myself that I can do it, that my friends, if I ever need help, I can ask them. And just like if I needed help, just ask like my teachers. So the way I kind of did the way that I kept on pushing myself was all those reasons. And I made it through. I'm a senior, I graduated, and so that was my thing.
Jay, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing
Mhm.
and being vulnerable. Thank you. That takes courage.
And for being the first to do it.
Yeah.
Thank
That's right.
Yes. So I just want to like go off of what Jade had shared. You know, last year was definitely hard. My junior year is when, you know, I've had my struggles my 4 years of high school, and you know, I was always on top of my grades, but it was just like that very end is like, I don't know if I'm going to make it. I don't know if I can continue on. You know, I dreaded waking up for school to like get onto the computer and to log on and sit there for hours. But you know, what pushed me the most was, you know, I want to be that teacher. I want to be that principal. You know, I want to be that administrator where, you know, I can come back and talk to my school and be like, you know, I've been through it. I went through a pandemic during school. You know, I can say, you know, I was a student of color who persevered through this. And that's a big thing that, you know, that happened over the summer too, was like everything going on, and that, you know, that pushed me. And a quote that I always like, you know, use, and this is a quote that I've used for the longest, is a quote from Barack Obama, and it says, "We did not come to fear the future. We came here to shape it." And so it's you know, we don't fear about what's going to happen tomorrow, or fear about what's going to happen, you know, in a week or something. Just be prepared to shape it. You know, you're gonna make it what you want it to be. You know, Danny, was able to walk that stage 2 weeks ago because I made myself do that. You know what I mean? And for the people that are watching here, it's like, you're going to have those times of doubt. You're going to have those moments where you're stuck and you feel confined and you feel like, you know, you can't get out of it, but you can. You know, and it goes back to, you know, identify those teachers, you know, I had this one staff member at school. She was an administrator, and you know, I went to her a lot, and you know, she kept telling me, Danny, you're going to graduate, you're going to do this. And so with that push, I was able to go through that. And you know, to see my friends being able to get through it too, to know that I wasn't alone, that a lot of my friends, a lot of my classmates were feeling the same way I was feeling. And you know, with COVID, we've grew to come together, our class, and we all got through it together. We all walked that stage. We've shared cries, we shared laughter, we shared many different things. And you know, being able to get through it and to sit here today, and I graduated last month, is like, wow, it's crazy. And you know, I'm going to school in August. And so yeah, what I just want to share is just, you know, again, to, you know, we did not come here to fear the future. We came here to shape it. And yeah.
Wow. You came here to shape it. That's right.
Love it.
Walona.
Yeah. So the time that I was really struggling, I suppose, was this year the most. You know, I was taking classes online, and it was very isolating. It and the way the assignments were just piling up, it was just so difficult to focus and to stay on track. And along with everything, with getting ready for college and the college applications and things like that, it was very difficult to keep up with everything. Especially, you know, when you're at home, and it feels like you're alone a little bit more than if you're in person. You know, when you're in person, you have your classmates surrounding you. You can see that they're going through the same things, and you know that when you're online, but it's not really the same thing. And so what really helped me was just being aware that I wasn't alone. There's other people that's going through the same thing as me. My classmates were going through the same thing. And like, I just wanted to graduate with them. And,
Mm,
you know, I would be supporting them when they're working hard. So it's like, if they're working hard, I have to work hard too, like we're in this together.
that's right.
So that's what really motivated me this year.
Wow. There was a common theme among the three of you, about this whole idea of like how things were changing, right? The learning style. And the one thing about the class of 2021 is that online learning, remote learning became just the model of like traditional learning. It was just something that everyone had to do. And districts, and right now I'm about to induct all of you now. Okay, now you're 28 years old, 27, 28 now. And I mean, it's true. 10 years from now, you'll be 27, 28, right?
Mhm.
So you're going to be in rooms where you're making decisions
Mhm.
because you're leaders. And that's how I look at you all of you, right? So the reality is, I want to hear from you before, we close out and all this stuff, because you were one of the first classes to really deal with, remote learning, right? And moving forward, now districts are going to like begin to adapt to that type of learning, and maybe have some students take on that role for an entire year, right? That's exactly how they will learn. What do you think? What would you suggest, right? I just want your insight and your feedback. Do you think remote learning is effective, or what other model do you think we need to adapt to that would be effective for future generations, right? Because as you continue to get older, you're going to be in those rooms to make those decisions, but you got to experience it. Unlike a lot of us adults who are a little bit older up in age at this point, right? We're kind of dictating at this point, right? But you were the people in the room experiencing it. You really experienced it and what it was like every day to be in your house, to roll out of your bed. Maybe you just got on the computer, right? And you didn't have to get ready. You didn't have to leave the house. And what is that? What kind of toll does that take on your psyche as well? So if you can share a little bit about that, because I know you have, like I said, you all are very reflective individuals and highly intelligent individuals. Okay. What advice would you have for those educators and for those individuals who are administrators now, who are in those rooms making those decisions? What advice would you have for them moving forward so that we can make sure, for all the listeners who are watching the show, because your voice matters. What advice would you have for those individuals who are making those decisions for those students for the next 2 to 5 years, 10 years down the pipeline, in like 4 or 5 years from now, you'll be graduating from college. What advice would you have for those individuals? And as this time again, I'm gonna do the same thing. If you're ready, just unmute yourself.
I'll begin.
Yep.
All right. So
wait. I just want to say this real quick. Principal Cruz, can you please speak for us? Thank you very much.
All right.
Into existence,
So,
right?
it's the last past year, that was a question that Mr. Booker just said. That was a question we've asked all year. I was a part of the PBIS committee in school, which is for those that don't know, it's the Positive Behavior Intervention and Supports committee. And so that's where we're, trying to figure it out in school, how to make the climate or the culture better. And, I think just listening. For those people that are making the decisions now, just listen to the students. Sometimes students come to school just to, want to talk. Yes, we come to learn as well, but, we need to just have somebody listen to us and, just agree with us. And sometimes, it's hard when we're in school and when we're getting everything thrown at us because of the pandemic from both sides, whether it's from a teacher and a student. So we're all going through it. And so I think that, it'll be good for us to, just hear out what the student has to say. and go on, you know, move on and work together and create a movement of where, you know, we're all adding student involvement, you know what I mean, into this,
Mhm.
into the school, into decisions. And yeah, that's what I have for the people that are making decisions now.
Right. Just listen. Absolutely. Any one of you, Walona, Jade, what do you guys think?
So,
For,
oh,
you can go first. You can go first.
okay. So I definitely agree with Danny that, you know, the people in charge need to really listen, you know, and with hybrid, with online school, I really think that the social aspect is really important. And so my sort of thing is that if we're going to have online school be a normal thing, it shouldn't be like all the time, you know, it should be like a hybrid sort of thing, because I know a lot of people, and me included, were really struggling with the social aspect. You know, it feels really isolating, you know.
Right.
You just get up and then you go on the computer. You don't have your camera on, you know, like, are you even there? You know, so
Wow.
it really does take a toll on you, especially if you're doing it for such a long time. And
Mm,
hopefully in the future, we won't have to rely on online school like we had to with the pandemic. We had
right.
no choice. But in the future, hopefully, we will be able to mix both in person and online.
Mm,
So, you know, students can still feel connected, but not lose, but can still also use online school and use technology as it's evolving.
that's right. That was well said. Thank you, Walona. Thank you so much for that.
That was really powerful, Luana, what you said. You know, I think what was resonating there with me
Mhm.
in that piece is the importance, right, of the connections that we need to make. And it's great, and I'm all for the technology, but there's a limited aspect of that that we so need as humans, right? And you know, as a psychology major, you're gonna get in all into that, right?
Mhm.
That need for that. And I love your thinking about, well, why don't we leverage both? We could do both, hybrid, right?
Mhm.
But this is what I'm saying. Your voice at the table, all three of you, in wherever space you're in, so important, right?
Absolutely.
And so think about that, Danny, when you become a principal, right?
Yep.
Leveraging your student voice and decisions, right? Awesome. Thank you for both of you. I'd love to hear from Jade.
So for me, I agree with Ramona. We should have a hybrid
Mm,
because a lot of kids that I know, they were stuck at home. They felt very isolated, and
mm,
just because they're very social, like me, I needed to talk with somebody. I need to go and move around, and like we didn't have sports, which kind of sucked as well.
right.
I think that we need to start having maybe a definitely a hybrid,
Mhm.
but more of a in school, because humans are just very interactive. We're
Mhm.
very social creatures, and they just need, and even like middle schoolers or like elementary schoolers, they are very young. And so if they're always online all the time, they don't really know how to interact with everybody. And it's very bad for them, because if they don't know how to interact with other people, it would be terrible for their like self-confidence, and other things that can like hurt them in the long run. So yeah, that's my opinion.
No, that was great. That was well said, Jade. Seriously, thank you so much.
Very much. Very true.
I just want to say thank you to the three of you for being on the show, taking time out of your schedule to be here. You are incredible and phenomenal individuals. And I look at you as leaders because you are leaders. And I don't want you to ever forget that. Okay. You just continue tapping into your greatness,
Mhm.
continue being your authentic self, and continue speaking your truth.
Mhm.
Don't ever allow anyone to tell you what you can and cannot do. And if you're having a problem or anything, just call your Uncle Book. Seriously, because I'm here for you. I love you guys with all my heart. And if you need anything, let me know. Feel free to always email, call me. I'm here for you. All right. I really appreciate you. And I just, I thank you so much for just being on the show today. You are incredible, amazing individuals. Thank
I
you.
would just like to echo Mr. Booker's and say that I am really impressed. I don't know you at the level that Mr. Booker does, but in my interactive messages with him, I'm just saying, wow, right? You guys are amazing. And I see you being your own trailblazers in this world. You are going to set the world afire, right? In a positive way. I will, give you a piece of advice. Keep, despite challenges, don't give up. Tap into people around you. Seek mentors. Mentors are so important in your journey all along the way, right? You're going to find that, and then you're going to give it back. You're going to pay it forward and be mentors to others. And that's the other thing. Give back to your community. Help out, right? Lift somebody else up like somebody has done for you. I just want to thank you. You each one have a blessing to give to the world, and I can't wait to see where your journeys will take you. So thank you so much for taking the time to be on the Cultural Flip Side. It was such a pleasure meeting each of you.
Daisy, you know what's phenomenal here? They already, and deep down inside, they already know exactly what they wanted to do. Danny knows in his heart, his passion, he's spoken into existence.
Yes, he did.
Because I want to be an educator, superintendent, principal one day. I'm already putting it out there big time.
That's right.
Maybe Secretary of Education.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Alona, she's been saying this since I met her, right? Mr. Booker, I want to be a writer.
Wow.
I want to be an author.
Awesome.
I want my books on the New York Times bestseller list.
Good. Make it happen.
It's going to happen. And Jade, your mind is like a sociologist, anthropologist. You're artistic. You have so much to give and bring. And I know you're going to continue tapping into it. All right.
Love it.
Keep
Love
pushing.
it. Yes.
Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great summer and best of luck. Congratulations. Best of luck to each of you.
Class of 2021.
Yay.
Thank you.
So much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Wow.
Wow, that was amazing, Daisy.
That was an amazing show. That always feeds my soul when I can speak and be around students.
Yes.
I know that you are, you're still close to the work, and I get into buildings, but in my role as an administrator, I don't have the face time as much as I want to. And I can't tell you how much I missed it. So this was a real treat for me today.
I can tell by your face, the glow on your face right now.
Oh my God, I love it. I love it. Kids. I love it. It's just how I'm in the field that I'm meant to be in.
Absolutely. And I love that vice sharing, the hybrid model, not allowing students to just get completely online. And they, as Jay said earlier, she said, we're human beings. We need to interact. We're social creatures.
And I agree. I completely agree with what they were saying. I mean, and the students that I've spoken to, I've talked to parents as well.
Yeah.
For some, they have said the all fully online was very helpful for some students who are very introverted, didn't like going to school, or disengaged. That model, they actually did pretty well.
Right.
For other students, this did not work for them because they're very social. They needed to be around their friends. So it wasn't one way, like all online or all in person. It wasn't working for all kids, but this is an approach and an idea, right? To meet the needs of both, right?
Right.
Even some districts I know are thinking about having just a separate virtual academy where for those kids who want that, can leverage that. And I think this is the way we should be moving. Options for students, right? If we want to see engagement increasing in our schools, you've got to give kids options. Well, it's not the one-way approach anymore, right? Like, let's
that
think about
assembly line, right?
right, exactly. Remember how we learned or traditional schooling? That's not where we are anymore.
Right.
So we need to change our system. And so, I'm loving what I'm hearing about some of our future educators.
Uh-huh.
I'm just saying, I think it was a great show. I loved it.
Awesome. Daisy, I think it's about that time.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right.
Lead us, dear, lead us.
God, thank you so much for this day. Thank you so much for allowing us to come together. Thank you, God, for these young leaders who are pioneers, trailblazers, who are passionate and dedicated, who will change the world. God, please cover those young people. Please help them to stay positive and stay concentrated on their goal, Lord. And God, thank you so much for the show. Thank you so much for everything that you do. Please cover our families, our loved ones, and help us to continue persevering through any obstacles or trials and tribulations that we may encounter. We love you and appreciate you, Lord. Amen.
Amen. Gracias a todos por estar aquí con nosotros hoy. Te deseamos un día muy feliz. Thank you for being with us today on the Cultural Flip Side. We wish you a wonderful day. Thank you. And I want to give a special shout out to my niece and nephew, Gabriel and Bethany, who are going to be seniors next year. I hope that you found value in this show because these three amazing young people, right? They are the wave and they are giving some really great advice. So thank you. Thank you for being with us today.
And everyone, remember, you don't feel like praying, you can meditate, take a walk, whatever it is, just continue tapping into your greatness so that when you tap into your greatness and your full potential, then you can also inspire others around you. So have a wonderful day, everyone. Stay positive, continue striving to be a better version of yourself. Thank you for joining the Cultural Flip Side. Peace.
Adios.